there was an immediate response from Twisted Minds.
Ejector onto one. James gets popped in between the tangos, and Sui dropping the revitalize. Easy! Jumping into the pit. Retribution on the turtle. SOD thrown out by Oheb. Wailing away. Spear, spear, spear. Pushing out, played back. And look at the back line. Hajizi goes in the front and easy. The response, James, Hajizi and outplayed, taking down Dad, and now Carl Teasy, the SOD from Oheb. James gonna get punished here. The Spear of Misery knocks him into the wall in turret range. Sanji, close quarters combat, taken down, outplayed. Oheb, a man possessed, goes for one more, survives, and now Sensui falls.
There you go. That's a lot of zoning and range once again. I mean, either of these two teams.
Hey, Goldie, will they just do the same exact thing and have a liquid stampede victory, ending in a sweep to take on week 1 against Twisted Minds?
I mean, you can already imagine how things are going to turn out in as early as the first minute. There's so much hypo capabilities, fast clear, and range coming in from Team Liquid Philippines. But just the same, Hajizi, he can also do just that using the Eve. It's just that when the Jawhead gets closer to you, it seems a little more threatening than if it were the Gatot, who doesn't have stacks. If you don't decide to attack him, you don't really get to get hit. But it's the Jawhead, the missiles, the smart missiles, they just keep going at you.
Oh, speaking of, it happened again. That Jawhead Suyo combo.
They love it, man. I mean, like you said, we saw this back in M6 quite a bit, actually, and it works out so well. And even looking at this, you know, the fact that you're able to go ahead and lock someone down and possibly get a kill. But we saw them try to do it in the previous matchup, and it didn't work for Chaknu when he played the Jawhead. So this time around, TLPH are looking for that execution. But even the Phoveus, you know, we didn't talk too much about the Phoveus in the draft, and we all know that Phoveus alone is enough sometimes to just be that front line.
Yeah.
So that's why JP, he doesn't have to worry too much about, you know, protecting, or he could just be even peeling half the time because he knows that Sanford is actually enough tankiness for those fights in the skirmishes later on. So not anything too much happening in the early game while they get those level 4s available for this first turtle.
And it's kind of the same idea, similar to how you don't get much damage just yet to deal with the Phoveus if he ever decides to go in, not until later if you were Twisted Minds. So I feel like they're able to, or they will be able to manage this pretty well. It can be either Sanford, it can be either JP leading the fights, depending on who they like.
Amazing flank angle by the backliners, nay, the frontliners of Twisted Minds, forcing an early revitalize. The answer from TLPH. Hajizi swiping away, real world manipulation, early pop on the ult, and TLPH stand their ground.
Stand their ground right now. Good choice for TLPH to kind of back off out of their RWM, and now they're going to go for this turtle.
Oh, Sanford's not for you.
Very low, backing out. Sanford down to a third of his health. Healing up with some infernal pursuits. Hajizi draws first blood. Turtle still standing. Carl DZ does the cure. MP the King looking to punish. Carl DZ backing off. He goes down. MP gets one. Gets a double. JP falls two.
Okay, well, that was interesting because I feel like TLPH was like, can we do this? Can we not? Sanji wasn't level 4, and that was a big part of it.
Yep, and the way they were able to force out the flicker immediately from Sanford the first time they decided to go in, it felt like Team Liquid Philippines were already ready, even despite Sanji not being level 4 just yet. But just because Twisted Minds didn't engage and decided to fight when they were prepared themselves, it favored them a lot more than it would have favored Team Liquid Philippines.
So big pickup in the early game already for Twisted Minds, changing the course of already what happened in game 1 by getting the 3 kills and, you know, getting that double for MP the King is great for him on this Joy. So we'll see how he's able to go ahead and utilize this small lead.
The AOG plus the real manipulation. The answer, Sanji's blatant disrespect of Twisted Minds zoning. Now JP's gonna go unless he survives as Carl TZ takes down Sensui. Daddy JP refuses to go down.
That was a clutch usage of either the ejector or the unstoppable force to gain a little bit of shield just to sustain him right when he was under the turret and when he knew he was safe. So there were still these micro decisions that are going on. JP refused to die at that moment.
Oh no, outplayed.
He's a
Running
Ducati.
through, survives, but only for a second more. Daddy JP finds one, Sanji goes, MP the king takes him down. Carldeezy looking to survive, but no, MP wants blood. Gets another, gets a double. Oheb pushing them back. Hajizi and James, their former teammate, backs off.
Great response.
Yeah, the team fights, they seem to be coming from all angles. If you were Twisted Minds here, you could expect like MP the King to just do his job, come into the back lines, and then Sensui as well. They are controlling the areas in which the team fights are happening really well, and they always catch Team Liquid Philippines right after they've used up some of their major resources. Similar to how Sanji was caught in that moment, he was in that spot because he needed to take down Outplayed. And in as much as successful that he was, there was an immediate response from Twisted Minds.
Ejector onto one. James gets popped in between the tangos, and Sui dropping the revitalize. Easy! Jumping into the pit. Retribution on the turtle. SOD thrown out by Oheb. Wailing away. Spear, spear, spear. Pushing Outplayed back. And look at the back line. Hajizi goes in the front, and in the back it's Sensui. All for Liquid. They've equalized 5-5.
That fight was split up ideally and perfectly for Team Liquid Philippines. Sanford was able to manage the members that were assigned to him, and Team Liquid Philippines were able to focus on taking down the members that were in the middle of them all. So this, with just that single sequence, the lead is immediately back in Team Liquid Philippines' hands.
Sometimes you've seen it so many times, but you still ask yourself, how did Carldeezy manage to go ahead and just take that away? I mean, earlier...
James, that poor young man gets torn in half. You were saying about
I was going to say earlier, man, you know, we saw the joy.
Sanji, he's not done since Sui. He's going to find his man. Entry into the AOG. Now the punish. JP, Sanford, and Oheb says you do not do that to Sanji.
Let's just forget that note. And that, TLPH is just making it work.
It seems like they don't want you to finish what you're saying. But that's just how quick the turn of events are starting to be for both of these teams. Quick look at the items. It seems like the mid laners are able to manage things pretty well.
JP.
Oh, but wait.
Oh no, MP gets caught out. The shutdown by Carldeezy. The response, James, Hajizi, and Outplayed, taking down Dad, and now Carldeezy, the SOD from Oheb. James gonna get punished here. The Spear of Misery knocks him into the wall in turret range. Sanji, close quarters combat, taking down Outplayed. Oheb, a man possessed, goes for one more, survives, and now Sensui falls. It's a wipeout.
And Oheb survived all of that too, and now TLPH will get the turtle.
Okay. I am trying to recall exactly how things turned out when we were watching that top lane. But at first, it did seem like the shutdown onto MP the King felt like an opportunity for Twisted Minds to eventually look for a trade. But that wasn't the case. Even when they were able to close the gap, get in front of Sanji, not even the most high mobility, one of the most high mobility marksmen such as the Earthel was able to dance around the stuns, the curse of the crowds, and now they're in full control. They're able to zone away Twisted Minds, and what's more interesting is the fact that... wait.
San.
Anyway, what was more interesting is the fact that even for James, right? They're not afraid to commit the ejection. They can burst him down.
Yeah, they can. They're going to burst down this turret too. Tier 1 in the mid, finally going down. And it looks like,
JP finds the ejector on Outplayed. He didn't even have a moment to respond. Hajizi goes down. Oheb, nothing personal, brother.
He missed him, or I don't know.
He didn't miss him. He found him. But yes, he does miss him, I would assume.
He misses him in that way. But man, Oheb is just locked in. I mean, you mentioned he had the game face on earlier on. And he's playing like it on this Mozcov right now. And it just seems like things have just turned all in favor of TLPH just in the last few minutes and everything happening.
And that was a smart move from JP here, immediately forcing the Holy Shields to be proc for that bottom lane turret.
Sanford, 40 with the false engage and the eventual Infernal Pursuit, forcing Sensui to answer back. Hajizi goes down, turret falls. Sanford still standing, traded up for 3. and finally outplayed Founds 1,
That's
and
it.
it's over! Under 10 minutes, the Liquid Stampede sweeps through Twisted Minds.
I think that was about 9 minutes or so. That was out. What has to be one of the fastest games of week 1. But oh my gosh.
Of all season.
The whole season at this point, that's a Liquid Stampede.
What? Those